Nice film.
Yep.
Good morning, Tiago and Momo.
Are you talking to us?
Of course I am. You have been chosen to teach basic English grammar to the world. I would be much obliged if you could talk about the use of there is, there are, and quantifiers such as some, any, much, and many. The use of good grammar is in your hands. As a reward, you will have the opportunity to visit London and perhaps enjoy a cup of tea together.
Free of charge?
Absolutely.
Long live the Queen! Right, let's go. We use there is or there are to talk about things we can see and things that exist. We use there is for singular and uncountable nouns. For example,
There is a building.
there is a red bus.
There is a man with a bicycle.
There is milk in the fridge. We use some in affirmatives when we want to refer to a plural noun or an uncountable noun without giving a specific quantity. For example,
There is some milk in the fridge. We use there are for plural countable nouns. For example,
there are people in the street.
there are 3 rabbits in my house.
There are books on the table. Let's have a look at 2 more examples using some. There are some people in the street.
There are some books on the table.
The negative is formed by adding not after is or are. For example, there is not a television in my living room. We can also use the short form.
There isn't a television in my living room.
Any is used in negative sentences when we want to refer to a plural noun or an uncountable noun without giving a specific quantity. For example,
There aren't any cats in the school.
there isn't any money in my wallet.
To make a question, change the word order from subject verb to verb subject. For example,
There is a bird.
is there a bird? Any is also used in questions when we want to refer to a plural noun or uncountable noun without giving a specific quantity. For example,
There are animals.
are there any animals?
There is juice.
Is there any juice?
I am delighted.
Thank you, Your Majesty. Now, let's talk about much and many. We use many and much to refer to big quantities. Much and many work the same way as some and any. We use much with uncountable nouns and many with countable nouns. There is too much water in the glass.
There are many animals at the zoo.
There isn't much chocolate.
I haven't got many toys.
Do they have much time left?
Are there many windows in the house?
You have saved our grammar. We are now friends, so please visit us soon.
We're going to London!
Where is our flight? There aren't any flights to London.
Yes, there is one. Our flight to London is in gate 3. And we have to be there in 3 minutes. Run! There isn't much time left. Ah!
There are too many people.
Don't stop running. Ah! We're late. Look, gate number 3. It's right there.
Finally.
We arrived on time. Excuse me, is there any Wi-Fi on the plane?
Yes, there is.
Thank you.
Whoa, there are many clouds out there. Tiago, I need to go to the toilet.
Do you have to pee or poop?
Both?
Relax. There is a toilet at the back of the plane. But the queue is huge.
I can't hold it much longer.
Momo! Where's Momo? And there aren't any suitcases on the belt.
There is one suitcase, but I need help.
Welcome.
Hi, are there any rooms available?
I'm sorry, but there is only one room available. Luckily, there are 2 separate beds in it.
Okay.
Sleep tight, Momo. We have to visit many places tomorrow morning. I hope you don't snore too much.
Good night. Wow. London is amazing. Look at that river.
It's the River Thames, and the Palace of Westminster is right in front of you.
Tiago, I'm thirsty. I think there's some water in the bag.
Let me check. There isn't much water left. Let's buy some more. What time is it?
There's a clock in that tower.
Are you silly? That's the Big Ben. It's a very famous monument.
Cool. Hey, look! There's a typical telephone booth.
Let's phone Elmer.
Hello? Elmer, guess what? We are in London.
I am at home with my wife. This is not fair.
What did you say?
I mean, you must visit Trafalgar Square.
Let's go to Trafalgar Square. Is this Trafalgar Square? I love it.
Look, it's the National Gallery.
What is the National Gallery?
It's an art gallery. There are many paintings of famous artists, and it's free.
Free? Let's go!
There are some cool paintings on that wall. Sunflowers by Vincent van Gogh.
How much is it?
It's a masterpiece. It's not for sale.
How many sunflowers does the painting have?
I think there are 14 sunflowers.
I will count them to make sure.
Momo, look at the sign. Do not touch.
Come on, Tiago. There isn't anybody around. 1 sunflower, 2 sunflowers, 3.
Run!
Tiago, I'm thirsty again.
I have an idea. Why don't we visit the Queen and join her for a cup of tea?
Good idea.
I'll phone her right now. Your Majesty, shall we have tea this evening? Where do you live? Okay, thank you. See you in a while. She lives in Buckingham Palace.
There are too many people here.
Yeah, the Queen is more famous than Justin Bieber.
Do you think they also want to have a cup of tea with the Queen?
I hope not. Thank you, Your Majesty. We had a great time, but we must leave now.
My warmest good wishes to you.
I love London.
Me too. And the Queen's present fits perfectly on the wall.
Guys, good evening. Yeah, as you can see, this is exactly what we have been doing. We are talking about the existence of things. And to do this, in English, people use there is or there are. Number one, and very importantly to bear in mind, is there is associated all time use when you're talking about singular ideas or non-countable ones. And when you say there are, you know, it's because we are talking about plural things. We can say, for example, there is one sun in our solar system. That's it. Or there is only one moon at night. Okay, because we don't have any other. It's also possible, guys, to say something like, there are 5 fingers in my hand. Or we can also say there are 7 days in a week. Or we can also say something like there are 31 days in December. Or there are 12 months in a year. All right, so when we are talking about that, guys, all the time is very important to know that there is and there are, they are used exactly to do this. I'm going to show you things that maybe you are already familiar with. All right, I'm going to just show you very quickly because as far as I know, you were actually looking at some of these and describing, but obviously I'm not going to make you see exactly the same ones. Okay, I'm going to show you something different. Okay, maybe that you haven't seen before. Okay, this way, maybe this is going to be more interesting. All right, for example, look at the picture you've got in front of you. To do this, I'm going to start sharing my screen with all of you again. And now you've got the Zoom. Now you've got the Zoom. So the idea is we are going to describe. So we are going to say there is, or we can also say there are. All right, so I'm going to start with all of you guys. Be very concentrated because teacher is going to make you some questions. All right, so be ready to answer. All of them are... Yeah, very good. So now that you can see this scenario, the one that you can see just in front of you, my question is, guys, what's there in the picture? What can you mention that you can see there? All right, I'm going to start asking Elena. Luz Elena, tell me, mention only one thing, singular or plural, that you can see there. What's there?
There are 2 parrots.
There are 2 parrots. Excellent.
Parrot.
Very good.
There is a snake.
Okay, no more. Okay, no more. Very good. There are 2 parrots, plural, excellent, and there is 1 snake. Okay, guys, I would like to tell you something, and maybe this is silly, not so wow, but it's very, very important. When you say there is got an incredible chance and possibility, teacher. And what's that one? Is you can make it shorter. You can abbreviate it. You can say there's. If you don't want to say there is, you can say it in only one word. And the sound's gonna be there's. So you can say, teacher, there are 2 parrots. Excellent. You can say parrots. Or you can say, teacher, there's a snake. All right. I would like to tell you that in English, actually, this is not like, yeah, maybe like a parrot. But there's a word that I would like you to bear very in mind because it's very important and the pronunciation.
Macaw.
What?
Macaw.
Teacher, can you repeat it?
Macaw.
All right, so I'm gonna just start with the vocabulary because actually I think this is the right moment to start writing down some words, okay? Luz Elena, pay attention and everybody in the class because maybe what teacher is gonna explain right now is gonna be extremely interesting for most of you. All right, so I'm gonna start erasing the whole thing, all the words, and I'm gonna write down here. This is macaw. Okay, macaw is different when you say parrot. It's different when you say parakeet. When you say parakeet. Okay, when you say parakeet, is smaller. In English, it's smaller. You say parakeet is un perico. I mean, it's very small. Okay, but the colors, is similar. Parrot, un loro. Is a little bit larger, macaw, una guacamaya. Macaw, una guacamaya. I think this is the one that we can see on the picture. Y creo que si mal no estoy, esa es la que podemos ver ahí en el cuadro, ¿no? All right, there is another that is very common and is called in English toucan. Okay, toucan is written down exactly in the same way, and you say toucan. Okay, all of them, so sorry guys, all of them are like similar, okay, toucan, okay, but obviously they are not the same, okay, and that is very important to bear in mind, okay, so please don't worry, the listening.
Toucan.
You can, all right, again.
Toucan.
Okay, toucan, and you already know all the different ones. Okay, so next time when you watch them, okay, so maybe you're not gonna have any problem trying to describe them. So if you see here, there are two macaw and there's a snake. Some people say serpent. That is okay, teacher? Yes, but if you say snake, or before, snake for me is the best. All right, I'm gonna just move Sandra Milena. Welcome to the class, Sandra. Look at the picture. Okay, you can repeat. It's not possible. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you the one that Luz Elena already mentioned. Luz Elena said, teacher, there's a snake and there are two macaws. Okay, so Sandra, tell me what else can you see in the picture?
There are two spiders.
There are two spiders. Excellent. What else? Tell me. Very good. What else, Sandra?
There is one alligator.
There's one alligator. Wow, excellent. So I'm going to show you something now that Sandra mentioned. In English, you said alligator. Okay, this is one of the possibilities when we are talking about this animal, but I would like to be very specific with this. Some people say crocodile. All right, so sorry, I'm gonna just change it. Okay, it's crocodile. That is why there are some brand of shoes called Croc. Por eso hay una marca de zapatos que se llaman los Croc, ¿no? Que son esos como de espumita, foam y así todos chéveres. Y en inglés no olvides que viene de la palabra cocodrilo, ¿ok? You said in English crocodile. Crocodile. All right, I don't know why students got issues to join in. Hay estudiantes que dicen que tienen problemas para la conexión. No entiendo por qué Alison dice que no puede entrar a la clase, ¿cierto? Las dos Alison. ¿Cierto? Y Lady también dice que no puede entrar, muchachos, pero se me hace raro porque todos ustedes están conectados. Entonces, no sé por qué nuestros estudiantes no lo pueden hacer.
No, pero sí estaba difícil. Estaba muy difícil. A mí me tocó darle el correo y la clave a Zoom para poder entrar.
All right. Ok, si alguno le puede decir eso a los muchachos por el grupo para que ellos lo hagan de la misma manera porque se me hace extraño, la verdad no entiendo por qué unos sí y otros no. That's right. Y es raro porque se programa de la misma manera, pero voy a prestarle atención a ver qué sucede. Me parece muy extraño. Hay tres tratando de conectarse. Qué pecado con los muchachos, ok? Guys, let's see. All right, so excellent. You say there are two spiders. A spider is a very incredible and very well-known word because of the movie Spider-Man. And the other is there's a crocodile or there's an alligator. Excellent. Very good. David Figueroa. David, tell me, my friend, what can you see in the picture? But remember, it's not possible to repeat the one that our student have already mentioned before, okay? So, David, what can you see in the picture? Are you around, my friend David? Otherwise, I'm just gonna move with Johan Fernandez. Johan, tell me what can you see in the picture? Mention first something that is just singular. For example, what can you see, Johan, in the picture that you can mention? You can use there is or there are, either of them, the one that you prefer. Go ahead, Johan. All right, maybe Johan's got issues with the microphone. It's very weird, exactly as David. All right, but this is just funny. All right, but I'm gonna just go on. In the meantime, Johan, if you're ready at any time, please let me know. All right. Very good. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna go with Luz Helena. Luz Helena, no repeating any of the one mentioned before. What else can you tell me that you can see here on picture?
There's a monkey.
There are how many?
One. I see one monkey.
Okay. And what about these ones?
I don't know.
All right. You know what is the problem when we talk about monkeys is because there are different species. You know, they look alike, you know, but basically different sizes, you know, they are, you know, similar. So if you count them all, obviously there's more than one. There's more than one. Obviously, you can see this one because it's big, but no one here is little. Okay, another here, two, and here. So now you know it's not possible to say there is. Now that you gotta make the correction, what you're gonna say? Now making the correction, what you're gonna say, Lucelena? Obviously, there's no only one. There's no only one. There's more than one. So how many ones can you see in the picture? Let's see what Lucelena can tell me. All right. How many ones? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, Lucelena, there are 4 monkeys. All right. 4 ones. What else can you see?
4 monkeys.
Yeah, there are 4 monkeys. 1, 2, 3, 4. What else? Give me another different. What else can you see?
Another animals.
There are what?
There are 14 ants.
14 ants. My gosh, you take the time to count them all? Let me see. I'm gonna just count. Now I am curious. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and you are totally right. You are totally right. Okay, very good. So the idea now, yeah. What about this? I'm gonna make the question now. What is the name that we use to describe these little animals just right here? Do you know Lucelena, Sandra, or David?
Scorpion.
Scorpion. So we can say there are because it's plural, there are 3 scorpion. Okay, I'm gonna just go on making question and let me see another. What do you call this animal? What do you animal? What is a name that people use to call this animal, guys? Do you know maybe?
Black Panther.
There are, not each, because it's only one. Okay, so there is one panther. Okay, there is one panther. Okay, excellent. So there is one panther. Very good. Guys, this picture is to describe. We can say also there's a tiger, or we can use about the mangoes or fruits that you can see here. Maybe you can also mention the flowers in the bushes, or maybe you can also call these little green long animals called lizards. Okay, I'm gonna write it down. Lizards, las lagartijas. All right, but we are not talking about the ones that people do when they go to the gym. All right, because in English that ones are called push-ups. All right, cuando hablamos de las lagartijas que hago así en el piso, miren cómo se dice, ¿no? Esas se dicen push-ups. Y si voy a hablar de la lagartija, del animalito de verdad, yo digo lizard. All right, bear that in mind. I'm gonna just remove it, guys. That is actually what I wanted to show you. All right, now that finally you saw it, I'm gonna go on with our things. Okay, so last class, teacher Christos used this copy to introduce the topic about there is and there are. Basically, it's a very easy topic, especially, guys, because we have a study the verb to be before. So if you are get used to the verb to be before, so you know is most of the time related to singular ideas, and you know that are is for plural ones. Okay, so that is why you say my mother is a doctor and my uncles are mechanics. Okay, so that is why is singular are plural. That is mostly or most of the time. All right, so in the same way, it's very important to explain what in English is there is. We use there is when we talk about the existence of things. For example, I say there's a man on the roof. If you say there's a man on the roof, it's because there's only one and it exists. You can see it. It's right there. Okay, if you see the second picture, okay, we are gonna talk about different timetables, especially at the bus train station. And you see there's a train at 10:30. Not 2 ones, not 3 ones, only one train at that specific moment or time. Okay, so that's why you say are, there are. All right, you say when it's plural, talking about a week is like made of, compound, or consist of 7 different days. When we are talking about American calendar, they usually start with Sunday. In Colombia, we start with Monday. For us in Colombia, the last day of the week is Sunday. But I don't know why, what is the reason or explanation, but for American people, especially for American people, they prefer to say it. So I don't know what's going on. Okay, but it's correct. So there are 7 days in a week. There are 7 days in a week. Here, I'm gonna show you another. It's especially the structure. When we say there is, it's because obviously it's positive. I can say there's a watch around my wrist. Okay, obviously. Or I can say there's an American flag behind me. Okay, in English you say there is because it's positive, but what about if you say that something that is negative? You say, for example, there isn't anybody with me here at the moment. In this classroom right now, or in this office, teacher is by himself. So there is not anybody else here with me. So you can say there isn't because it's negative. If you're gonna make a question, you're gonna exchange the positions of the words. That means that you say in English, for example, you said oh, excuse me, is there a bus station near here? It's a question. Is there a bus station near here? Excuse me, is there a police station near here? Obviously, if your answer is positive, you're gonna say, yes, there is. Is not possible to contractions when you are giving a short answer. Is impossible. No. All right. So that is why I tell you, I say, yes, there is. What about if the person now made the question again and say, excuse me, is there a supermarket near here? And you say, no, there isn't. If you pay attention, something that I consider very interesting is, teacher, why is not possible contractions when it's positive? Interesting. But why is possible contractions when it's negative? Interesting. And that is actually what I tell you. All right. So these little features or characteristics are the one that you gotta pay attention. All right. This way, you're gonna get the picture much better. Okay, so I'm gonna move on. There's different statements here that maybe teacher Christos and you read last class. I'm gonna just read them very quickly. Remember that all the examples given right now are singular. So I say there's a big tree in the garden because there's only one. All right. Or there's nothing on television tonight. I'm bored. Or maybe there's a short conversation. One person say, do you have any money? And maybe the other say, yes, there's some in my bag. Okay, he's generous. All right, another is another short conversation. You can also say, excuse me, is there a hotel near here? And you say, yes, there is one. Armenia Estelar. All right. Say, no, it's another Mocawa. Or simply, if you know there's none around, you can say, no, there isn't. Okay, maybe you are very far from a place where there's one. Okay, good. All right, guys. Next one is can go skiing. If you can go skiing, is because there isn't any snow. And can you imagine? Hey, who's gonna ski or go skiing when there's no snow? Okay, that's gonna be hard. Okay, in the same way, and as I mentioned before, exists the possibility that maybe you're gonna mention things that in number are more than one. I mean, they are no singular, and now you gotta say there are. That is why you say there are 30 days in September, or you can say there are 7 days in a week, or there are 12 months in a year. Obviously, you're gonna say there are because all the examples mentioned before are plural. Exactly in the same way, I'm gonna mention the statement that you can see listed just right there. For example, there are some big trees in the garden, so maybe 10, 11, 20, 15, I don't know, but obviously we're talking about plural ideas. Okay, another is there are a lot of accidents on this road. Okay, so maybe if you're gonna drive this way, pay attention, be careful, because maybe you can or you can have an accident. All right, another is short conversation between two people. One of them say, are there any restaurants near here? Maybe the person, guys, is hungry, you know, and it's very common. You say, are there any restaurants near here? And the other say, yes, there are many. Look around. Or if you're very far from a place where there's a restaurant, obviously your answer gotta be negative, and you have to say something like no, there aren't. Look at the other example. This restaurant is very quiet. There aren't many people here. You know what is the problem? People are noisy. When you go to a restaurant with a bunch of people, obviously it's a noisy place. Sometimes to listen to a specific conversation is hard because everybody is speaking very loud that it's impossible to recognize people's conversation. You are like in a hype, like in a calm, you know, and it's kind of exactly when teachers are at school, everybody is working at the same time, and sometimes, wow, you can perceive all that noise around that is so hard to identify conversations. You know, it's like all time. Okay, very good. How many players are there in a football team? When I say football team, I would like to be very specific because it's different if you are in the United States or in England. If you are in England and you say football, is 11 players. For example, today a Colombian female soccer team played. We won today, Colombia. All right. So when we're talking about soccer or football match like ours today, so there are 11 players. Very important is when we are talking about the other football. When we are in the United States, is an aggressive sport. Football is necessary to use like a helmet because of protection. Imagine how dangerous this could be. And you need like another special outfit, equipment to play this sport. When we are talking about this football, no soccer, football, American football, is 15 players. And soccer is 11 players. Okay, bear that in mind because maybe these ones are similar, but you know, depend on what country actually you are in, the meaning of the sport is gonna change. Don't forget it. Okay, next one is teacher. When we are talking about there is, sometimes for me it's a little bit difficult or tricky to identify when exactly I gotta say there is and when exactly I gotta say it is. Okay, pay attention. I say there is when I'm talking about the existence of things. When I say it's because I wanna replace a word. For example, I say there's a book on the table. There's a book, exists. Can you see it? It's right there. When you say it, it's because you're gonna describe. For example, it's, I like this book. It's interesting. If you say it's because obviously, guys, you don't want to repeat. You don't want to repeat the word book again because you already mentioned it before. You say, I like this book. It's going to sound funny if you try to repeat it again. It's going to sound like, what? Why you say book again? I like this book. The book is interesting. The book is mine. The book is red. Oh my gosh, man. Okay, so many times repeating exactly the same word is going to make you look like weird, like a weirdo. Don't be a weirdo. All right? Okay, so you're going to say it to replace a word. For example, I say, this is my pen. It's blue. If I don't want to repeat pen, I can say it's because it's singular, you know? For example, this is a phone holder. It's a phone holder. I just stand my cell phone here and it's a phone stand. It's a phone stand, you know, it's a phone stand. Guys, it's black. I say it's black because I don't want to repeat, okay, phone, you know, holder. It's going to sound like funny, all right? So that is why I tell you. Okay, so please don't forget it now. Okay, I would like to be specific. I don't know if maybe you finished this part with teacher Christus in our last class, but if you did it, so maybe it's going to be much easier for you to give me a hand. Okay, what do I mean? I mean, if you did it before, so you are familiar, okay, with this activity. What is the idea here? The idea with this activity is very simple. You know, it's as simple as this. You're gonna read it. Okay, so I'm gonna need you. So please be ready to read. Okay, so we are gonna be talking about Keenan. And Keenan is a town actually in England, and is mentioned here on this copy. All right, so I'm gonna start. Number one is an example given by the book, and teacher Alirio is gonna read it. Okay, Keenan is in an old town. There aren't any old buildings. Okay, so it's like a new town. It's not old. There aren't old buildings. So when you say there aren't, it's because we are talking about buildings. If you see buildings, it's plural, so you're gonna say there aren't, is because actually, if you gotta be or have coherence, is important. The coherence here is if Keenan is not an old town, so obviously there aren't any old buildings. Number two, hey guys, I don't know if you're ready for volunteering, but if you are a volunteer, raise your hand at the moment or open your microphone, because I need somebody who read it orally. Number two, I need a volunteer, guys. Who's gonna be that volunteer for me now? Lucelena, thank you. Okay, please, I'm gonna push you on. Lucelena, go.
Look, there is a picture of your brother in the newspaper. There
Newspaper.
is. Look,
That means two things, Lucelena. Number one, maybe your brother is a very important, famous person. Otherwise, maybe he's got a legal problem, or he's politician, or he's a criminal. All right, very good. So there's a picture. Hey, teacher, how do I know that I gotta say there is? Guys, because you say picture. If you say picture, no es, it's because it's singular. So the idea is, if you open the newspaper, you're gonna see only one, not two, not three. Okay, so maybe your brother is not so famous anyhow. Okay, very good. Number three. Okay, excellent. David Figueroa. David, my friend, tell me about your microphone. Is possible for you to speak? Yes or no, David? Just tell me. David, my gosh, man, really? All right, I'm gonna just go on. Emmanuel Ortiz. Emmanuel, my friend. Emmanuel, your microphone is okay? Tell me yes or no. Because David, David microphone is busted. What about Emmanuel Ortiz? Your microphone is okay? Okay, Emmanuel is quiet. Johan Fernandez. Johan, I was talking to you now and you disappear. Johan, you. Oh my God, log out, log out. I say log out. Okay, Johan, tell me something, my friend. What about number three for you?
Ay, está fallando, ahora sí. Excuse me, there is a bank. I don't know. No. Yeah, okay. Excuse me, is there a bank near here? Yes, at the end of the street.
Very good. And that is why you maybe, teacher, I realize it just because of the question mark. Por el signo de interrogación, question mark. Yes, it's a question, teacher. Okay, so excuse me, is there a bank near here? Yes, at the end of the street. At the end of the street. At the end of. It's very repetitive. At the end of the street. At the end of the street. All right, so it's the last part of the street. Just go. Walk along. Okay, very good. So yeah, that is number three. I'm gonna just go and maybe I'm gonna ask number four to my friend Sandra. Sandra, what do you think about number four? Go ahead.
There are 5 people in my family. My parents, my 2 sisters, and me.
Wow, nice. Okay, I imagine how great gotta be to live with a huge family. You know, when you're talking about family and you've got siblings too, all right? Good. If you are the third, three, four, five brother, wow, it's marvelous. You know, I don't imagine being single, an only child. Because the problem when you are an only child is you don't have nobody to play with. And when you are a child and you don't have, you know, people like you to play with, life is boring. For example, if you ask me, teacher, what can you tell us about your childhood? Okay, my childhood was, you know, like interesting in one aspect. I grew up with my little brother. My little brother was 1 year younger than me, so we are very, okay, contemporary. Okay, I was 10 years and I was 10 and he was 9. Okay, so we were very close, you know. And I remember that my childhood was very nice because all the time my brother was playing with me. I was never alone. All the time my brother was there. So if I want just to watch television, my brother was there. If I want to play, you know, in the patio with the ball, my brother was there. So sometimes I imagine how gotta be people's life, especially when they are only child. I don't know. I don't think that's so nice or interesting. All right, I'm gonna just close these down, guys. Not sorry. I'm gonna show you. This maybe is another activity that maybe, I don't know if you completed, guys. I'm just asking for curiosity. And I don't know if you completed. In this activity, which I consider is very interesting, is because you need to complete using a word from each box. You extract an idea from box number 1. For example, is all time. In English, underline. I'm going to write it down for you to see. Underline. Miren cómo se dice subrayada. ¿Cierto? Cuando la rayas así, ¿no? O le colocas una rayita por debajo a la palabra. Okay, it's different when you say in English highlighted. No te vayas a equivocar cuando dices resaltada. Porque es que para decir highlighted necesitas un resaltador. All right? Mientras que para decir underline puedes usar un lápiz, un color o lo que tú quieras. No vas a tener ningún problema. Ok, entonces hasta ahí iríamos súper wow, ¿no? Iríamos súper bien. Ok, very good. So guys, please don't forget it. Underline or highlight it. Ok, very good. So the idea is 7. 7 what? Okay, is impossible to complete if you don't use the other box's information. So you're gonna see what's there in the next box. 7 what? 7 days. So there are, because it's plural, no? There are 7 days. 7 days. Let me see, teacher. I'm gonna get the information in the other box. For example, there are 7 days in a week. There are 7 days in a week. And if you say there are 7 days in a week, guys, you are telling something that is real, is right. There are 7 days in a week. So please don't forget it. There are 7 days in a week. Very good. Okay, so let's go on. Now is your time. Okay, I show you the way. Okay, now I think is your time, okay, to finish and complete it. Okay, so let's see who can give me the one. Lucelena, all the time you're my eager beaver. You're my eager beaver. So I'm gonna ask you, volunteering, that you tell me the second possibility. Let's start talking about 8. the number 8. What can you tell me, Luz Elena?
With A,
Yeah, look at the word 8.
there are 8 planets in the solar system.
My gosh. Luz Elena, do you like astronomy?
Yes, astrologer.
Yeah, I think no astronomy. That only is astrology. It's astronomy and astrology. It's different. You know, astronomy, you need telescopes, but astrology is the cars, the future. You know, very good. All right, so astronomy. If you like astronomy, back in my time, long time ago, when I was in high school, I remember that the information was totally different. In the past, in my school, teacher science class say that there were 9 planets in the solar system. And I remember the order. The first planet, it was Mercury. Okay, Mercury is the first planet, the closest to the sun. It's very hot. The second planet is Venus. Okay, so Venus is the second. The third planet is our planet, the Earth. The Earth. The fourth planet is Mars. Mars, the red planet. All right, very good. The fifth planet is Jupiter. The next is Uranus. The next is Neptune. You know? But now it's not possible to say Pluto because Pluto is not a planet anymore. Now Pluto is called planetary. A planetary is a small planet, not considered a planet, but that maybe with the years, 100 millions of years, maybe the planet grows and grows and grows, and maybe it's considered a planet, but Pluto is not a planet anymore. All right, so that is right. That is right. There are 8 planets in the solar system. Very good. Excellent. I'm gonna just go with Sandra. Sandra, go with me. There are what? Let me see. Oh, yes, 15. Sandra, 15. Can you help me? 15.
15. There are 15 players in a rugby team.
A rugby team. Wow, good, excellent. And Sandra, I already said it to you. Remember, guys, that when we say that is Teacher Alirio has already said it. Okay, but you are very intelligent because you pay attention. Okay, very good. Obviously, when we say rugby, remember what is the difference between rugby and American football? The protection outfit. Because when you play rugby, it's exactly the same. You have with the ball, okay, trying to escape, run away, nobody can catch you, and you gotta cross the field, okay? And if you just walk more than the other, you're gonna have the score. You know, that is different. Rugby sometimes is more dangerous because the problem with rugby is that you don't wear protection outfit. You don't have protective gear, you know, so if somebody hit you, ow, yes, that can break your bones. You can have a broken bone. It's serious. I've seen that, okay, in many matches. Okay, injure people and directly to hospital. And sometimes, guys, and it's not an exaggeration, there are people who even die. It's very dangerous. Okay, very good. So there are 15 players in a rugby team. Okay, that's totally true. Okay, guys, listen. That is something that we are going to be doing in our next class because maybe time is very short for today. We are going to introduce, okay, a whole new unit. It is something that is very attached to this topic, and we are going to be talking about prepositions of time. Teacher of time? No, place. Don't pay me attention. Sometimes teacher Alirio is a little bit crazy. All right, very good. So teacher, what do you mean? I'm going to show you an image, and this one is going to be something that is going to keep us busy in our next class. And that one is obviously, guys, this one is very interesting. All right, it's very interesting because even when people feel, oh, teacher, but that is very easy, it's not. They say, why would you say it's easy? It's not so easy because especially when I ask people about this, I don't know why, guys, they are completely lost. They don't know what to say. So that is why I think, no, I don't think this is as simple. What is that? I'm gonna show it to you now that is just right here, and it's possible for me just to open it in a whole new one. But this is very small. Sorry, guys. You're gonna say teacher is stingy. Okay, I don't know, guys, but maybe you're gonna see it just right here. We are gonna focus our attention next class because time got over. But next class, I'm gonna be very specific, talking about there is, there are, but we are gonna join it with prepositions in and on. In our next class, you finally know how to play things or locate things all around you. Sometimes it's hard and tricky because people are not so sure exactly when they gotta use the correct preposition. Maybe this one, that one, or which one, teacher? If you pay attention in our next class, guys, I'm gonna be there explaining to all of you that exactly. Okay, so please be very careful, attentive, and guys, and hopefully we are gonna be studying and learning new things together. Next class, teacher Alirio is gonna try to fix up the problem. Yes, okay, with the connection. I don't know what's going on, but something happened. Okay, I'm gonna see, and guys, I'm gonna say good evening, take care, spend good night, good night, sleep well. Okay, and see you in our
Bye,
next class.
teacher.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye,
teacher.
teacher.